everyone. Today we have with us Namit Singhal, who is a chartered accountant, who has worked in Big Four, who has worked with Lupin, and currently he is working with one of the dream companies of most of the chartered accountants, which is well known as BCG. So, hi Namit, how are you?
Hey, hi Shivam, I'm good. How about you?
All good, all good. So, Namit, we'll start with a basic question. How did you decided to get into a consulting firm instead of getting something into a practice or something sort of a job? So what makes you decide to get into the consulting firm?
Sure. See, basically, once I became a chartered accountant, you have a couple of options out there, right? Essentially, I think conventionally, if you look at it, there are in a way three options that you have. So one is you continue to stick to your core as a CA, where you join a Big Four or you join a CA firm in
Correct.
auditing, accounting, etc. Second is where you sort of opt for a corporate program like say a Marico, HUL, Godrej, and there are many options there. You grow as a part of their finance function. And then third is there are a set of many other opportunities like you have startup, BCG, consulting firms where you use something that you've learned in CA, but you move away from the core CA lines.
Correct.
So when I became a CA, essentially my objective was that I wanted to use what I've learned as a part of my CA degree and gradually move more towards business.
Okay.
Which is how do businesses make decisions, how do businesses drive change, how do businesses decide on their strategy. And when I heard about consulting, when I spoke to my seniors, it seemed that consulting firms are a very good way to pursue that interest.
Okay.
Which is why post my CA, I sort of chose to push on and try to get into a consulting firm like BCG.
Okay. Okay. So, Namit, how did you get into the BCG? What is an entry point for getting into some consulting company?
Sure. So, see, BCG has multiple teams, right? So, I'll probably talk more about the consulting team within BCG. So, we have a recruiting program for chartered accountants. So, every attempt, after the results, anyone who is interested in applying can drop in their resume to our HR team. And we look at all the resumes and whichever maybe a couple of resumes we like, we sort of shortlist and take them for an interview. So it was through that CA recruiting program that I also got through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the things or qualities would you as a person look into when you're hiring a CA into a consulting firm or into this firm?
Sure. So maybe let me address this question in two parts, right? One is essentially shortlisting of candidates, and second is actually what we look for in an interview.
Okay.
So see, in terms of shortlisting, there are three things that we look for in an interview. In a resume, I'm sorry. So see, one is basically the academic excellence that a candidate has. Second is, professional experience that the candidate has. And third is essentially some extracurricular achievements that candidates have. Now, essentially, the term we use in BCG is called spike. Now, what I mean by spike is that, you are different from the crowd in that bucket. So if a candidate has a spike in at least two of these three buckets, typically they are a very strong candidate for shortlisting by our firm.
Okay.
So yeah, and I think what I would like to address here is that, a lot of people who reach out to me, they ask me that, does BCG need a rank, in order to get shortlisted? We don't have any hard and fast rule.
Okay.
So yeah, in the academic excellence bucket, if you have a rank, that's a definite advantage. But if you don't have a rank and you have a good professional experience and good extracurricular achievement, you will still get through. So yeah, so we are very open to any and all profiles who are interested in our firm. Okay. Now the second part is, once you are shortlisted, what we look for in an interview. Right now, the interview mechanism that we have is what is called a case interview, which is a commonly used way to interview candidates across consulting firms in the globe. Essentially, what we look for here are 3-4 things. So one is the ability of a candidate to problem solve. What that means is that we essentially throw a very abstract kind of business problem. Like hypothetically, your client is, say, a auto manufacturer who wants to reduce cost. So how would you approach this problem? And what we test is, the ability of a candidate to ask the right questions, to prioritize the right aspects, to, arrive at an answer. So that's the first thing we test. Secondly, what we look for is, communication and presentation. Basically, if this guy, or, if this, lady was in my team, would I be comfortable sending them out to a client and having them communicate to a client? That is the second thing we look at. And, third thing that we look at is practicality and effectiveness. What that essentially means is, how practical is the person in terms of the solutions that they recommend. So, like, for example, in the same example of cost reduction for auto, right? At the end, does the candidate give me a very practical, usable recommendation, or is it more of gyan? That is what we look at. So these are, I think, the three things that we look for in candidates. And, whoever is able to demonstrate this, we are very happy to have them on board.
Okay. So Namit, what often it is seen that most of them wants to get into the consulting, but they didn't get an opportunity because articleship they didn't get such type of exposure, to be honest. So are there any courses, or are there any some trainings program which you could suggest so that they can easily get into this?
Sure. So see, I think one thing that I would really like to address, and there's a lot of people who reach out to me, especially in the first year or second year of articleship, asking this question, right? What can we do today so that we get into consulting, say 2 years from now? I think always my strong recommendation to students is that you should not get so caged into or pursue a goal that is 2 years ahead right now. Right? As a student, as a CA, there are 3 things that you should do. I think I like the number 3, so I'll always
give
you 3 things to do. But yes, there are 3 things that I think you should focus on as a student, right? And this will hold true for any career option that you choose, whether it's consulting or otherwise. First one is your articleship. You should really try to make the most of it. You should, ask your seniors for, more attractive assignments, more attractive modules. Maybe, move to clients where you get to do more complex work. In a way, in an articleship, there is no downside. There's only upside because expectation from you is low. That's number one. And I think there are very few people who really go the extra mile in terms of pushing their seniors to give them more work. I think that's the first thing. Second thing is that you should have a very strong focus on your CA final. And when I mean a strong focus, I don't only mean in terms of working, in terms of how many hours you put in or how much time you spend studying. CA final has a very beautiful curriculum, and you should really try to understand the most of it. And there's a very small example that I tend to give to people, like even in a subject like ISCA, which many people tend to abuse a lot. They say it's a very bad subject. There's a chapter in that where you learn about platform as a service, software as a service. I was working in a client in BCG where we were recommending a digital product to them, and we were actually evaluating PaaS versus SaaS, and it all came back to me.
Okay.
So it's just so beautiful how even a subject like ISCA is something you can use in your practical day-to-day. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, I think people need to have a life outside work and studies as well. Like for example, in my 2 years, my 2-3 years of articleship, I worked with this foundation called Make a Difference. We used to spend at least 10 to 12 hours every week. And, at that point in time, I never thought of this as, I will work in the social sector and that will help me, because I was not as informed. I just did it because I was like, chalo, we'll enjoy, we'll spend time with children, we'll make new friends. And it ended up helping me as well, because, I have a bigger network. I'm more confident in speaking. I enjoy it. And plus, by coincidence, recruiters tend to like that kind of a thing. And it doesn't have to be social sector. It can be anything. But I would suggest that you have something outside of work and education as well. It could be music. It could be stand-up. It could be you like to do MUN and debating. Maybe you like to work in the social sector. It can be anything. But have a life outside, and it should be driven by your passion and what you really like to do. So I think these are the 3 things that as a student you should focus on. In all honesty, specifically to consulting, once you get shortlisted, you have a 4 to 5 week period to prepare. So specifically preparing for that, you can actually do at that stage. I don't think you should do that right now. These are the 3 things you should do right now, and they'll hold you in good stead irrespective of which career you go into.
Okay. So is a chartered accountant degree is good enough to get into the consulting, or should the student also consider other courses as well with this? Because what happens is few of them feels ki more the degree better it is and to better to get into that sector. But is having a single degree good enough to get into the consulting?
Sure. So see, I think let me address this question in a couple of parts. I think first is that getting into consulting as an undergraduate is tougher.
Okay.
It's by default a little tougher because consulting firms tend to take fewer undergraduate people, and this is across whether it's CA, IIT, liberal arts, whatever, right? And they tend to recruit more from B school campuses. So inherently, it's a little tougher to do that. Having said that, I think, like I was mentioning, when we look at undergraduate resumes, we look at it in three buckets, right? Academic excellence is just one bucket. In that bucket, I think if you have done a CA and you have decent ranks, I think that's sufficient.
Okay.
I would, as candidates, I would really strongly advise that you guys build something in your professional experience and experiences outside work more. Because not only does that make your CV stronger, that actually makes you more wholesome as a professional and personal human being. And I think that's very efficient as far as academics is concerned.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is very unconventional because a lot of people out there are doing CS, CFA, and a lot of things. But I unless you are very clear that okay, CS करके आपको CS में जाना है या CFA करके आपको equities में जाना है, unless you are super clear that you want to do that, I think you should just focus on your CFA. As far as that goes.
Correct. So Namit, during your journey of 2 years in BCG, you must have been interacting with a lot of clients and solving a lot of challenges, right? So what is your key learning during this period and what type of issues you faced during this?
See, I think the one key learning is, and I draw on this from some of the books that I've read as well, is that after you graduate and after you start a job, essentially there are two things that really hold you in good stead, right? One is your attitude as a professional, and secondly is the base that you have developed while you're studying. Basically, that basic common sense and that basic business sense is what is a big asset. I think these two are the biggest asset that any professional can have. Okay. Now, what do I mean by attitude? By attitude, I mean that you are willing to go the extra mile. You are willing to look at yourself as a partner to the client rather than just do the 5 things the client wants you to do. Or you are ready to work hard. You are ready to work with the client. I think that attitude is very important. And there are a lot of people who pass out today who do not, and I'm sorry to say this, but many people do not necessarily have that attitude. A lot of people are restricted to the 4 or 5 things that they are told to do, or the 4 or 5 things that their role entails them to do. Or maybe they have that very strong mentality that okay, let us maybe do a 10 to 5 and close. I'm not saying that you should work till 10, 11 every night. All I'm saying is, rather than approaching your work, your client, your problem as just ki chalo mera ye JD hai, mere ko ye karna hai, you should really own the problem and you should really work hard and drive a solution to it. And I think that attitude is very important, and whoever has that attitude typically do really well. Second thing that I've learned is that the base that you have is very crucial. And I can give you innumerable example, like I gave you the ISCA example, right? There have been so many moments in the last 2-3 years where I have been able to draw upon what I learned during my articleship or during my studies for IPCC or CA final. So I think, guys, whoever is a CA student, you are part of a very beautiful course, which gives you a lot of learning that no matter which field you go into will really help. So you should work hard, but at the same time, you should really understand and you build a strong base in all the subjects that you do. That will really be a big asset. I think these are the two biggest learnings that I've had in my 2-3 years of working after the CA.
Correct. So Namit, you also mentioned about the communication and networking skills. So what happens is that during a CA journey, we don't have a college life, and somewhere the students lack this communication and networking skills. Sure. So how someone can improve into this front? Because when you're going to consulting firm, you need to communicate a lot, right?
Yeah.
So how a student can improve on that?
Sure. So see, there are 2 things that you can essentially do. I think one is in your articleship itself. In your articleship itself, there are a lot of opportunities, like small examples. Like, for example, you do a working and you have an audit observation. Now the question is, you have to align that observation with the senior client.
No.
Now, a lot of articles, the tendency they have is they go to their senior and say कि चलो आप align कर लो, थोड़ा मेरे को डर लग रहा है ना? But maybe in those small situations, you should just take ownership and say that, okay, let us have a 5-minute chat. आप मुझे बताइए कि कैसे align करते हैं, and let me give it a first shot. आप मेरे साथ रहिए, so that if that conversation goes south, you can pitch in. But these small opportunities, you will get a lot of time in your articleship, and I would really urge people to take and grab that opportunity, because these they give you the confidence, and even if you bomb couple of conversations, you will get input from your seniors ki, Acha, these are the 4 things you can improve on. That is one. So in articleship, you should make the most of opportunities to present, to communicate, to align, to follow up, right? Second thing is, opportunities outside articleship. So like I was saying that, there are a lot of things you can do even if you don't have a college life. Like even if you're doing a distance learning, right? There are so many opportunities across the cities. Like there are Model United Nations, there are debate competitions. You can, you can join a social organization. You can join a NSS, right? There are so many things you can do beyond, your articleship that will really facilitate that connect, networking, discussion, not only with peers, but maybe with kids, maybe with government organizations, maybe with bureaucrats, and that's pretty invaluable in terms of building that communication as a skill. So yeah, I think these are the 2 things that people can do.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So now the BCG is more into a research stuff of a macro level and micro level both as well. So how someone can develop that quality of a research, the person who thinks from a research perspective is different from the person who is looking from an audit perspective. So how that approach is developed and how that can be developed?
Sure. So see, research is a part of what we do. So, consulting is, much beyond just research. So it's often, companies approach us with different problems that we are asked to solve, right? I think as a skill, or, in terms of preparing for that, honestly, I don't think anything can prepare you for that. This field is very, very different from whatever you are doing in your daily life. But what you can do to prepare for this is you can really, really build a strong base in CA and in articleship. Now, what do I mean by that? In your CA, there are so many subjects. There are accounts, there's SFM, there is costing. All of these subjects build a base. Like, for example, I was, for a couple of months, I was working with the private equity practice of BCG. And as a part of that, we would look at the P&L and balance sheet and cash flow of various companies and build a point of view on that. Now, a lot of times in those situations, people would come to me and say कि अच्छा ये fixed cost, variable cost में कैसे divide करें? हमें ये cost project करना है 10 साल के लिए कैसे करेंगे? At that time, I was able to contribute because I had done costing well, for example. Or maybe I am discussing with some client and he's like, अच्छा इसका valuation क्या होना चाहिए? Return on capital employed क्या होगा इसका? I did SFM well, so I could answer that question. So what I would suggest is, जो CA की आपका curriculum होता है, you should really understand and build a strong base in that. That will definitely help. Second thing is in your articleship. Now, I agree that, consulting is not audit. Consulting is not tax. It's fundamentally different as a profession. But at the same time, in audit or in tax, you spend a lot of time trying to build an understanding of the client's business. You spend, who's a good auditor? Who's a good tax advisor? Someone who can ask the right questions in the context of that business. For example, I was working on a banking client and I was asked to audit some of the receivables, loan receivables of that banking client in my audit. Now, in order to be able to do that well, I need to understand कि अच्छा क्या type के loan है, what is the business of the person to whom he has lent to, how is that business doing, how is the macro there. Now, I try to ask my seniors कि चलो आप मुझे full onus दो इसका, I will come to you for guidance, but you let me hold this. So because of that, I learned the art of asking the right questions, and that art is something that helped me in consulting as well. And I'm sure that whichever audit client you're doing, whichever tax client you're doing, whatever you're doing, you will have innumerable such opportunities. So you should really make the most of these, learn the most out of them. Maybe the audit itself will not help, but actually working with the client to ask the right questions will help. I think that's what I would really urge people, that जो आप actual में कर रहे हो ना, articleship में या पढ़ाई में, उसे बहुत अच्छे से करो. That will really help you. You don't need to do anything beyond that.
Okay. So Namit, you also mentioned about कि most of them who are working in a consulting firm are from B schools and there's something this sort of. But currently it is also seen as a chartered accountants are contributing in a consulting firm in a different manner. So what are these roles where the chartered accountant can contribute in a better manner, and how do you see as a coming future and opportunities for CA?
Sure. So I think in consulting, once you join the firm, right, there is no difference between whether you're a CA, whether you're IITian, whether you're MBA, or whether you're from liberal arts. Okay. I think all of us are equal. I think what the beauty of consulting team is that if I have a team of 5 people, right, there is one CA, there is one IITian, there's one liberal arts guy, there's one MBA. And each of them bring a different skill set to the table, which is valuable, and a different way of looking at the problem. I think that is a very big asset to any consulting firm or any team. And I think even for me as a professional, because I interact with people of a different specialization, I just learn a lot every day. So I acknowledge that as CAs, we bring something to the table in terms of our finance knowledge of business. We also bring something to the table in terms of what we've learned in the articleship, which is different. At the same time, everyone who's a part of that team brings something to the table, which is equally valuable. And as a team, it's sum of parts is, more than, each individual, basically. Is what I would say. Yeah.
Correct. So this makes an interesting place to work in a consulting firm.
Place to work, for sure. So yeah, that is what I feel strongly. So as CAs, you bring a lot of, business, finance, articleship experience, but what IITians bring is technical knowledge. They sometimes have a jugaad mindset because they've done a lot of startups. They do a lot of things on campus, which we do not necessarily do. People from a liberal arts background, they think out of the box because, they spend a lot of time working on abstract problems. Someone who's an MBA, maybe they will bring a fantastic network because they know 200 people in every company in the world. So if you want to know about, say, what an HUL is doing, PNG is doing, you ask them, they're like, "Acha, haan, mera to dost hai wahan pe." So, all of this is valuable, and when brought together, it results in tremendous value addition to the clients.
Correct. Great. So Namit, any sort of advice for upcoming CAs who want to get into the consulting firm and how they should go into and how they should approach?
Sure. See, I think firstly, if you are a student who is in articleship right now, I don't think you should think about this. You should think, like I was saying, you should think about your articleship, you should think about your CA final, and you should think about accumulating experiences beyond work and studies, right? Because 2 साल बाद किसी को नहीं पता है कि तुम्हारे priorities क्या होंगे. Correct. Maybe at that stage you like consulting, maybe you like corporate, maybe you like banking. It can be anything, right? So if you're a student, just focus on these 3 things. If you are someone who's cleared a CA final and who's very, very interested in consulting, then I think probably just be in touch with your seniors. BCG may you can very well reach out to the HR every time a CA result comes in. You can apply, and we are very much open to evaluating all the resumes. And if you get shortlisted, then you can start prepping for the interview. But I don't think you need to do something very different. I think you should just get the basics right, and if you're interested, just apply and trust your luck.
Correct. So Namit, it was great having you. It was like knowledge for everyone who wants to get into the consulting, and this will really help out those who want to get into this stream of career. Thanks Namit, thanks a lot.
Thank you guys.